It's Mr. Jimmy Carr.
Everybody take a stand, join the caravan of love. Stand up, stand up, stand up, stand up.
Let's get comfortable. Stand up. I thought it was caravan. I thought you were saying because Carr, Jimmy Caravan, but it was because of the stand-up reference in the song. I'm just playing a game here to work out.
I got it.
Hey, Jimmy, how are you?
A fine form, yeah. Pretty well.
Now, looking at your stand-up material, and I have done, I've enjoyed your DVDs many times in the past.
You always say this like I've never met you before in my life.
Well,
I've enjoyed your work, so...
Well, because this is work. We do know each other socially, but we're doing a proper job, but this is an interview.
Yeah, because
here,
we don't want to come across as Brucey and Tarby.
No, well, I don't want to... Look, it's not so much that, I don't want people to know I'm your friend. And don't pretend you haven't encountered this before in your life. I'm sure this was the tale of your school years.
That cuts deep, ladies and gentlemen. That cuts deep.
Really? Were you bullied at school? Obviously, but how bad was the bullying at school?
I wasn't bullied at school.
You were... Come on, don't be stupid. What school did you go to? Just on your own? Were you in solitary or something? You must have been bullied looking like you do. Well, you're being bullied now.
Yeah, I'm getting a taste for it.
Well,
I like it.
It's because I'm fond of you. That's all it is. But hang on, though. You see, I'm being a little bit rude here, perhaps. Right? Would you consider that?
I wouldn't consider that rude. I think, you know, I dish out enough of it.
Well, that's what I was going to say.
You
don't, do you mind being on the receiving end, so to speak? Calm down. Do you mind being on the receiving end of a little bit of your own medicine, so to speak?
Oh, no, I don't mind that at all. I think people are generally very nice, though. I mean, I'm amazed at how nice... Like, when you go out and, you know, I'm on tour a lot of the time, so you meet people around the country, people are amazed at how nice I am, because I seem so stiff on stage, I think.
You are quite robotic on stage.
I think I'm getting better, but, like, when I started, I looked as if I was performing with a stick up my arse. I was just so kind of... And it was basically because I was petrified, Jonathan.
Nervous.
I was just so kind of frightened of being on stage. Yeah. And there's no training. I'm not, you know, trained in any way. I'm a chancer. That's what I am. Same as your good self.
No.
No discernible skill. You know, so you're there kind of telling jokes and I was very kind of uptight and so I'm trying to kind of loosen up a bit on stage.
Because I've noticed your voice when you speak on stage is different to the way you speak. Because you speak, it's almost like, when I was growing up, my parents had a phone voice sometimes you'd hear. My mum in particular, when she's talking around the house, she'd be talking normally. And all the she'd go, oh, hello, yes. I wonder if you could send it over to Leighton Studio. You still love it. It's like, what the who are you talking to? The Pope?
I've got a phone voice, but mine's quite breathy. I like the phone sex lines because they're the only place in the world where premature ejaculation is an advantage. I once came in under 75 pence. Can't say fairer than that.
OK, anyway, we were talking about my mum, right? And you immediately leapt to a phone sex line.
Well, I just found the voice slightly erotic. What?
OK.
We've upset one of the puffs.
Sorry. But the stage voice is quite like a phone voice almost. You do speak... Have you tried to speak in your normal voice on stage?
It's getting closer to that, actually. If you watch, like, the first DVD as opposed to this new one, there's a big difference in the performance. It's slightly kind of loose. I mean, there's still lots of jokes, and you know, you're on stage, so you're not quite who you'd be at home, you know, watching TV.
No, but some comedians, you see, they're very much... They kind of speak in the same way. There's maybe slightly... But it's pretty similar.
I think it's a nice thing, though, to be slightly different on stage, because... People are then amazed. Like, when I travel around the place doing gigs, people are amazed that I'll stop and say hello in the street.
Yeah.
I think if you're someone like Peter Kay, who's so lovable on stage, you watch him on stage and just go, I imagine he's my friend. Yeah. So if you meet him in the street and he does anything less than take you back for tea, you feel a bit short-changed.
You're going to feel cheated, yeah.
Whereas with me, if they go hello and I go hello, they go, oh, wow. I can't believe it.
Because they expect you to go, oh, you look a bit smelly.
Hello. Yeah.
Do you smoke on stage?
No, but I don't know why I did that.
Why did you do that?
I'm not sure.
I could see you with a monocle. You'd look a bit like a ventriloquist doll. If you had a... Come and sit on my knee for a minute here. Come and sit...
Come and sit on my knee?
No, I'm not
being groomed.
I'm not grooming you. I just want to see if we do look like a traditional ventriloquist act.
Right. Have a look, sit on your knee. Oh.
OK, look at this.
You got bony legs, man.
That's not my leg. Now. Hey, look, there you go. Look, we're reliving that magic moment. Get off my knee, please. OK, you mentioned touring. You tour a lot, you travel a lot. I know you travel around the country. When you go up and do a gig, because it's a stand-up, I guess you don't have people with you. But do you take a friend? Do you go with an agent, someone from your agent's company, or do you travel on your own? How do you do it?
I travel on my own to all the gigs.
Does that not get lonely?
No, it doesn't. It's nice to kind of be out on your own. It's like, because I make a lot of TV shows as well. Making a TV show is like being in a big gang. Yeah. There's loads of people around and, you know, the show can't happen unless there are producers and writers and all these, you know, this gang of people. Yeah. And you're just taking all the glory as the presenter. Whereas as a stand-up, you're on your own, just doing it on your own. There's a great sort of freedom to that. It's lovely.
Yeah.
And you meet people. If you're on your own, you meet people. If you go with a friend, you tend to just chat with your friend. If you go on your own, you're forced to chat to people during the day.
I imagine you turning up in a town on your own, like a travelling salesman, perhaps, and sitting down at a little cafe, having an egg and a sausage, maybe. So looking around, anyone want to talk to me? No, they're shying away from the stranger in town, let's face it. And you look a little bit like someone who's, you know what I'm saying? And then...
I'm not sure that I want to know what you're saying.
You look like someone who's been in care, you know?
I'm fine, go on, fine.
And I don't know if I'll be honest, I don't know if I'd want... If I was eating in a restaurant, like with my family, and you came in on your own, I think I'd get the kids out of the way.
Guys, that's the one thing, actually, when you travel around, when you eat in a restaurant on your own, if people want to know, if anyone wants to know what it's like being famous, just eat in a restaurant on your own. It's exactly the same thing as being famous, because people are looking over going, what the fucking hell's he on? What's the matter?
Yeah, because so it's like you're hiding yourself there.
Yeah.
Okay. They put Anthony Hopkins' head up behind you there, and he looked like he was studying you, like he wanted to eat you. Have a look. Look, he's going to eat... Isn't that brilliant, that you don't have to do anything else but that? So, Anthony, all you've got to do is go... And people love it. Do you ever do it by mistake? You wouldn't want to do it during lovemaking. It would send off entirely the wrong message, wouldn't it? Hey, OK, so what do you do? OK, let's deal with this. Can we deal with something?
Yeah,
Can
sure.
we deal with an adult theme here? Can we, do you mind this? When you're away from home, you're away from your partner, OK, you're on tour, a man has wants, a man has needs. You're in a strange town, OK? What do you do for that? Do you have comedy fans who make themselves available to you, or do you employ someone to come to your room? And what do you do, Jimmy Carr?
To take care of my sexual urges.
Yeah.
I phone your mum.
Don't clap that. Don't clap that.
Hello, is that Mrs. Ross?
Now, your material, you're pretty cutting edge, really. I mean, your stuff is, it's kind of not extreme as such, but you don't seem to be too cautious when it comes to making jokes about just about any subject. Would I be right?
And that's a weird thing, isn't it? Because people sometimes say it's offensive, but the people that come to my shows and buy my DVDs don't find it offensive. Yeah. You have to kind of really you have to take offence. Whereas it's just kind of edgy, but a lot of it's wordplay, so the joke isn't really about the thing. So I'll give you a couple of examples.
Okay.
I saw a headline in the paper, man held after rape. I thought, what, they cuddled? Now, that's not a joke about anything other than a bit of wordplay there. It's just kind of I was talking about professional wrestling with a friend, and somehow the term came up for the thing that they wear. It's an all-in-one leotard.
It's a unitard.
A unitard. It got me thinking, a unitard? That sounds like a special needs kid with a horn.
There was one person laughing a little bit too loud at that. I think they have experience of the unitard. Do you enjoy shocking, though? Do you like when you do a joke and it gets, you know, an equal measure of laughs and gasps? Is that a good thing?
My favourite noise at a comedy gig, and there's a few jokes in the current show that I'm touring that get this reaction, is it's a laugh followed by a gasp. Because you don't think about what you laugh at. Like when people just laughed at those jokes, they didn't think about, oh, shall I laugh at that or not? They laugh, it's a reflex action, and then their sort of socialisation kicks in and they go, oh, I shouldn't have laughed at that. And that's my favourite thing, to kind of trick people into kind of their kind of baser motives.
Do you get heckled, though? Do you get people in the audience who, I don't know whether people come along... I remember when I used to go to comedy clubs many years ago, you used to get some people in the audience who you could sense had gone along because they wanted to heckle. They had heckles ready, they enjoyed it. Or do you encounter that, or indeed do you encounter people who just don't like something you said on stage and feel they should
No,
let you know?
I don't get heckled in the same way I used to in the clubs. There's a big difference between, if you go to a live show and you haven't paid 20 quid to come and see someone by accident, it's like you want to go and see them.
So they know your material, they know what you're going to do.
And they like to join in, and it's a different sort of thing when people are joining in. And my audiences are really funny. They often shout out really funny stuff.
Yeah.
But, you know, being heckled in clubs is a different thing, and sometimes it's just impossible to come back from. I've got a friend that was heckled, he was doing a support slot for someone. OK, so the support act is going out there to nothing, because the audience are paid to see the headliner, and this guy's just doing 20 minutes at the top. And he was getting nothing from the audience. He's a really funny comic, he's a great guy, and he was getting nothing from the audience. And someone shouted right from the back, loudly and clearly, when a punchline fell on dead air, "You're ruining our evening."
That's not good.
You can't come back from that. Another one that I heard was... a friend of mine did a gig this was in Edinburgh, you know, the festival, to a tiny little room of like 30 people.
Yeah.
And God love him, he's a funny guy, but
Yeah.
it was late at night and everyone was too drunk and they were a bit tired, a hot room, nothing. Okay, so he's there and he's going through the set and he's getting nothing. And some guy just whispers to his friend, but like at the perfect moment, you know, when there's total silence and the guy whispers. He just turned to his friend and went, "There used to be a pool table in here."
That's not so much a heckle, it's just a kind of a thing you don't want to overhear.
Yeah, that's pretty bad.
Jimmy, on a totally different subject, you're a bit, if you don't mind me saying to you, you're a bit too neat.
How do you mean? What do you mean a bit too new?
Are they new jeans?
They're quite new,
Are
yeah.
they brand new jeans?
They're quite, yeah, I bought them to come on the
They're
show.
brand
and now
new
they're being
jeans.
insulted. What?
Well, can't you wear them in a bit before you go out? Because it looks like you look like you've walked out of a window.
That's not... I sometimes do look a little bit like an undercover police officer.
Okay.
I feel at some sort of rave.
You know, well,
Hello, I'd like to buy some of your ecstasy, please.
Because I've never seen you in... I've never seen you in jeans before, but they do look... You wear jeans a bit like Clarkson wears jeans, you know what I mean? Like, kind of like...
Oh, that's... that's a bad review on my dress sense.
Not as bad as Clarkson, you know what I mean? Like you don't look like you're fully confident with the concept of denim. Do you understand what I'm trying to...
I understand what you're trying to communicate, yes.
It's like denim is like you're a tourist in denim land. You visited it, you quite like it, but you want to go home into something tweedy before you make up your mind if you're going to live in denim land.
This is you having a go at my dress sense. You dress like Willy Wonka a lot of the time.
Well, that's a good look.
It's not a good look.
That's a good look. See, they're applauding my clothes. Let's see if we can get the sexy piece in. Let's do that.
Is this...
Isn't that better? Don't you think that's a bit better, ladies and gentlemen?
This is bullying.
Take this off. Take this jacket off.
Take off the jacket.
Keep your
Right,
microphone off. Take your shoes and socks off.
Take my shoes and socks. Why would I...
Roll up the sleeve. Let's see if we can look a bit casual.
Why would...
Come on, just sit down. Take these shoes off. Come on.
I take my shoes and... What are you doing?
Have you got lifts in these? OK. Take your socks off. Roll
Why
up
am
those
I
jeans.
taking my shoes...
To look more relaxed, more kind of... Let's get a bit funky. Doesn't he look better now? Roll them up. Roll them up. Roll them up.
My jeans.
Roll up your jeans.
How is this...
Look how much better... Doesn't Jimmy look now much better? Look at that. See this better? OK. OK. Just have one smouldering, sexy look to the camera before we go to it. No. Ladies and gentlemen, the comedian is the name of Jimmy's new DVD. Mr. Jimmy Carr, ladies and gentlemen. I'm sorry about your shirt. I got carried away. Is it the first time a man's looked at clothes? Look at that. Thank you, Jimmy. Look at that.
It's horrible out there. It's horrible. Don't go. Stay here.